Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, two fast castlers are going back to basics as redphosphoru playing as the red Portuguese gets ready to take on Hoang playing as the blue Celts. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate piggly-wiggly surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Forget surroundings. We are both on a mission of finding where the hell the other player is, because we'll get into this in a second. This is exactly what these two players do. Not a bad time for us as they do so to take a look at the civ match we'll be watching today. Now the Portuguese, a civilization whose strong economic bonuses allow it to take advantage of its very strong gunpowder units to get an early game boost to your economy. Portuguese foragers also generate wood while they collect their berries. All of their units cost 20% less gold. All of their technologies are researched faster, except for going up to the next age. And once you hit Imperial, something I don't exactly expect out of redphosphoru, not exactly an Imperial Age player, as he steals one of Hoang's pigs, and Hoang wants none of it, or maybe he wants it back. Oh, he's going to stumble into it. No, never mind. He is going for the boar instead. Maybe didn't see the Piggly Wiggly, as we did in any event. If we're lucky enough for this game to go into Imperial, well, then the Portuguese can build their unique economic structure, the Feitoria. This is a building that auto-generates all 4 resources at once, but it does take up 20 population space. Now, using all of their bonuses, their features, the Portuguese can field a pretty darn impressive gunpowder army, since they have access to every single non-unique gunpowder unit in the game, and all of their gunpowder units can be upgraded not only to fire more accurately at moving targets, but to also increase the speed of their projectiles. Oh, 2 Piggly Wiggly stolen. By the way, this upgrade called Arquebus does strongly benefit their unique unit, the organ gun. This is a gunpowder unit that a gunpowder siege unit that fires 5 or 6 bullets in a small spread, designed to hit multiple targets at once. And by the way, if that's not enough, all right, 4 Piggly Wiggly stolen. Pardon me, if that's not enough, the organ gun does come with a attack bonus against infantry, skirmishers, and even buildings. Although I don't think redphosphoru is going to be eating these pigs anytime soon. It looks like he's kind of hiding them in the corner. Hey, you know what? Denying your opponent 200 food is not bad at all. A nice silver medal. I mean, gold would be denying them 200 food and then taking 200 food for yourself. But denying them 200 food is not a bad silver lining, as I just mentioned. Now, silver lining for who? It is Hoang, playing as the Celts, the Top Gun Tom Cruise civilization, built around their love and need for speed. Their lumberjacks work faster, which is great because Celts need lots and lots of wood for their primary focus, which is siege. Celtic siege workshops work faster, their siege units fire faster, and all of their siege workshop units can be upgraded to get extra HP. Now, coming back to the need for speed, Celtic infantry move faster than normal starting in the Feudal Age. Their castles and towers can be upgraded to attack 33% faster, and their unique unit, the Woad Raider, is the second fastest infantry unit in the game, and one that comes with a good amount of HP and pretty strong attack. Now, in order to feed a big, hungry, growing population, the Celts, well, ironically, seeing as what happened this game, but the Celts, they can steal your herdables even if you have a unit standing right next to them. Although in this game, it is Hoang who has had his herdables, his oinksters, teefed by the Portuguese, who, to be fair, you know what? If any of the civilizations that exist in Age of Empires were to teef your pork, I mean, Spanish makes some good pork products too. Jamón ibérico is muy delicioso. But the Portuguese with some piri-piri, some delicious Portuguese. Oh man, there's such a good Portuguese restaurant in downtown Toronto. You know what? I'll allow it in this game. I'll allow it. Let's say Spanish are a close second, but Portuguese grilled meats are pretty darn delicious. And yeah, those are the two civilizations. Why am I excited to cast this game? Not only are their Elos mere 4 points apart, but these are two fast castlers that everyone knows, everyone loves their games, and they are playing in their classic civilizations. Hoang with his usual Celts. What's going on in the middle of here? The bear. Also a good TV show related to food, The Bear. In any event, Hoang and his classic Celts, fast castle, Celt, eat, TC, etc. You know him. And he's already moving forward with Villager and a couple of strong-armed protectors for the Villager here. Whereas redphosphoru with the Portuguese organ gun push is a classic as well. He goes up to Castle Age and he starts pumping out wood gold units, and usually places his castle in a protective spot to protect both of those resources. And the organ gun does cost only wood and gold, although a lot of wood and a lot of gold. 80 wood, I believe, 56 gold, if I'm not mistaken. Hoang, by the way, has not exactly discovered where his opponent is. He will in a second. And one way to deal with the redphosphoru strategy, which relies heavily on getting a castle up. Hoang's strategy relies heavily on rushing up to Castle Age, just like redphosphoru's strategy. Oh no, he busts in. But unlike redphosphoru, Hoang doesn't usually need a castle. He can forward dump a siege workshop, an archery range. He can kill a villager, drawing first blood. Although he's going to be, need to be careful. He steals the pigs back. He steals the pigs back. Right as redphosphoru loses his pigs, he does get that one weaker scout. Now his villagers are under attack. So Hoang's build doesn't necessarily rely on a castle, whereas Phosphoru's build does very much rely on a castle, because it is all about that unique unit. And there we go, Hoang with the proxy archery range. Now, what the hell happened to those two pigs? Is it possible that Hoang got control of his two pigs back and now has brought back 400 food into the fold? It is very possible, as redphosphoru's villagers continue their attack here. Minus 50 gold for his part tells us that they have loom, so they are not exactly defenseless, although pretty darn weak compared to these units. Okay, maybe hanging around a little bit too much is Hoang, who loses a militia end, but okay, now it's now it's starting to get a little silly here. 3 more villagers lie dead, 4 more villagers lie dead, and Hoang has managed to get all 6 of his kills to be economic, but that's it. The push is done, the tower is up, and no more units pressing into here. I love the location of this tower. May have been a little bit better on this side of the stone, but to be fair, I don't think he had the ability to do that because Hoang's army was literally in his face. And look at this, Hoang is going to pivot around, but let's see what kind of damage he can find here. Phosphoru already heading up to the Castle Age at the 12-minute mark. Hoang with a very aggressive, very threatening, very scary blacksmith. That scares absolutely no one. In part because I don't think redphosphoru sees it. So here we go. Did he manage to get the 2 pigs back? What the hell is going on? I am not paying attention to the pigs at all. I saw the 2 blue pigs were moving this way. I don't know what the hell happened to these 2 pigs. Are these 2 pigs the same 2 that Hoang stole and then Phosphoru got back? I can't imagine they are, although Phosphoru does have a scout out on the map, and so it's very possible. I'm gonna have to go back and rewind the tape and see what the hell exactly happened with all the very varied pigs and delicious meats that don't know they're delicious meats just yet. In 59 seconds, our Portuguese will be in Castle Age. Spent a little bit of stone, 125 to get the tower up, so he's gonna have to put in a few extra shifts at the quarry, a little bit of overtime. You don't get a weekend, Mr. and Mrs. Villager. At the same time, Hoang continues to soft embrace his opponent. Archer on the left, a couple of archers on the right, but there's no villagers to kill. Out of 16 villagers, 13 of them are here. Well, they used to be here. Now they're going for, I'm assuming, the wood. Because if you do not have wood, there is no point in building a castle. 522 stone. Unfortunately for redphosphoru, he does not have the resources. He does have the market and the blacksmith, the good old arena strategy. Will he be able to buy the last 100 stone? Will he be patient enough? There's not a lot of straggler trees here. 33 wood on you, 46 wood on you, and how much on you? 77. So basically enough for 2 organ guns, which to be fair might be able to shoo Hoang away. But no, he is taking his time and going up to the 650. Oh, he was at 648. Okay, he's at 654. What's he waiting for? And there we go. So not quite as far over here because of these prowling archers. Hoang, by the way, sees the castle, so he knows exactly, as if he needed confirmation. He knows exactly what's going on and what kind of battle plan, battle order he's going to be coming up against. Phosphoru, for some reason, continuing to go after stone. Okay. No villagers on gold, no villagers on wood. So even though he's managed to get up the fast castle, even though things are going according to plan, and I sound a little hesitant there because according to plan, Hoang has done a good job making sure that, oh, he's selling the stone for gold. That's why. So that's how he's going to pay for his organ guns. He's going to go with the wood nearby and he's going to sell everything else. Okay. So kind of according to plan, had Hoang not killed 6 of his villagers and delayed the ability to start pumping out organ guns. And you can see it's delayed because Phosphorus pumps out 1 and there's not a second one that immediately follows. So there is a little bit of idle time on the castle. But now that the organ guns are out, let's take a look at what the hell our Celt has to stop this. A few palisade sticks are not going to stop these organ guns. He's got a tower which will shoot away and zone it out a little bit here. Another tower going up. Our Celt also with a few inefficient villagers. I'm surprised that Phosphoru isn't walking the walk, talking the talk in terms of stacking his villagers in that video that he made. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, he made an amazing video where you can shove basically 10 villagers into one tile. And if you want to know how to do that, if you have the patience to practice and the micro to accomplish it, yeah, you can stack 10 villagers into one tile. Although redphosphoru not exactly using that strategy at the moment. Okay, he's pivoting north. How much of Hoang's base has he seen? He's seen the forward portion, double towers. Hasn't seen that this is walled off. Hasn't explored the south, which is starting to get walled off with stone walls. Okay, that is fantastic. Down goes an archer. Not too sure you want to engage with a feudal age archer, but you see the spread on this. I thought the spread was supposed to have been narrowed, but for some reason, it doesn't really seem like that based on the graphics. I love the addition of the chemtrails. Okay, organ gun to the south takes a little bit of arrow fire. Organ gun to the north. They have some pretty good pierce armor, which makes them pretty much immune in early Castle Age. I would say even maybe to mid or even late Castle Age until actual castles come up. Makes them pretty immune from archer fire for the most part, for any kind of pierce damage. Although their accuracy, as you can tell, not exactly a Rambai level, but at what is it? Well, I guess it's supposed to be 100%, right? It's supposed to be 100% within that range. I forget exactly what the explanation was for it, but... Ooh, secondary wall off of stone. I see a bunch of red dots. Redphosphoru is at 518 stone. He's moving villagers forward. He's seen that there's extra stone here in the front. We haven't even had time to review where the bases are located for the players because so much action has happened. Oh, risky move out. And he loses his first organ gun. I haven't even had a chance to look at where Hoang's resources are because right from the very first pig theft, it has just been non-stop action between these two players. By the way, Hoang's infrastructure is still up on the other side. Petard. A petard is moving in. Unfortunately, by the time it gets here, maybe Hoang is going to be in Castle Age. And the way walls work in Age of Empires, they are like scouts. When you go from feudal to Castle Age, their HP, their armor... Actually, I'm not 100% sure about their armor, but their HP jumps from 1080 to 1800. And so by the time this petard, who moves at 0.8 tiles war elephant speed, I don't know if he's going to make it in time in the next 50 seconds. This is going to be a real last minute. I'm going to have to check the tape. What is it called when two horses are nose to nose right at the end of a race? Photo finish. 15, 14, 13, 12. The reason I'm so anxious is because you need more of these in Castle Age to bust down the wall, but go after the weaker segment. Why are you going after the full health one? Well, it doesn't really matter. He hit it right before Hoang hit Castle. That is so sour. And now when I click on it, yeah, the armor hasn't changed, but the HP has jumped up. So by a millisecond, actual millisecond, redphosphoru has managed to bust into that base. Where the hell do you think you're going? Bonus, infantry +2, ram, skirmisher. Building not yet. I believe that's the elite version. But this is why redphosphoru still had some villagers on stone. This is why his stone is depleted entirely in the forward position. His primary stone. But he's also going to discover a castle. We'll lose that scout eventually, right? Right? Come on, one arrow. It doesn't hit. The scout escapes literally by the skin of his teeth. Gold is lamed not because of where it's located, but where the mining camp is. And Hoang, instead of just relocating the mining camp, where the hell is he going? Okay, he's seen his gold over here in the Tetris piece. Are you kidding me? Instead of just relocating the mining camp, you left the entire patch of gold? Villager mining, pardon me, working the farm. oblivious to the fact that there's a castle about to destroy his house. This is a bonkers move out of Hoang. He did not need to move his villagers all the way here. This gold is completely untouched by the castle. I mean, the castle has no upgrades, but even with fletching, it's going to reach here. Even with bodkin, it'll reach here, which means these 3 patches are completely mineable. Maybe he's afraid of the organ guns. Maybe he wants to do a little sneaky in the middle of the map where his opponent won't find him. Now his archers are moving in. So let's see what's going on around the map, because when games don't end quickly with these 2 players, they have a tendency of looking like a Jackson Pollock painting on the mini-map, where there is just a lot of confusing dots, a lot of action happening everywhere. Here's Hoang with his, oh, you stupid derping out villagers, get off the fentanyl and get the hell out of the way. But doesn't matter, the tower takes down the organ gun anyway. Ooh, okay, sacrificing 2 archers to cross this castle path just to get 1 villager. Okay, well, sacrificing all the archers now. Oh my goodness. Oh, a blocked villager, the worst thing that can possibly happen. Finally, after walking all the way this way, undiscovered. No, redphosphoru knows about... Oh, redphosphoru even knows about the mining camp. Okay. Well, there you go. So he's thieving gold, which tells me no more castles for you. 0 villagers on stone. How the hell does redphosphoru know about this mining camp? Interesting. Okay, he's going after his secondary stone, leaving Hoang's secondary stone untouched. Now, monastery in the middle of the map. So our Celt is kind of secure here, 28 minutes into the game. He did manage to get those 6 first villager kills, but since then, redphosphoru has gotten 5 villagers. Organ gun, need to be careful. You do have a minimum range of 1. But that's okay. This man now has a minimum range of 3. It's not Korean, and okay. You know what? Not the end of the world in terms of resource exchange for either player. Hoang taking the better engagement there, but... Okay. Does have a second TC, which he's going to need since his first one has fallen. He also has a 3rd and a 4th. Oh, and he's been pushed off the gold. By the way, I don't know if it's by design or just by sheer luck that redphosphoru has lamed all of the gold of the Celt. And I mean all of the gold of the Celt. Ooh, beautiful get there. I want to say snipe, but I mean, that's the slowest snipe in the world. I want to take a look at Hoang's gold location because his primary has been voluntarily abandoned. Okay, so he can't make any excuses. That was his decision. Secondary and 3rd gold are completely lamed here. They are under complete Portuguese occupation. And this extra gold, oh, villagers moving into repair. Extra gold is also being kind of lamed a little bit here and there, but Hoang is, you know, with 3 villagers on gold, somehow managing to pump out more and more mangonels. That's kind of sour. I mean, it might as well attack it with the villagers at this point. It can't exactly fight back. This would be amazing micro if he brings villagers to attack this organ gun while also keeping the mangonel in the minimum range. And that's exactly what he's doing. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. This is like fighting a skirmisher. You have to surround it. And the villagers surround it. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right. Well, there you go. And as always happens in these redphosphoru games where they don't exactly go according to plan with a capital P. I mean, it went according to plan with a little p. He got his castle up, his golden stone, etc. Bit of a unit here, just kind of pondering life. Where did I go wrong? I could have been a lawyer. I could have been a doctor. When they don't go quite according to plan, what happens is the kill count is never really that high, but the action, like I said, it looks like a Jackson Pollock painting. It's just the dots everywhere. Blue still has infrastructure. Red is prowling the middle. He's starting to gather relics. The shenanigans abound. Okay, 4 more, doing not a whole lot here. And even though the kill count is never high, there's always just so much action, and I'm always kind of hesitant because I feel like I'm missing a lot of the action. And in this game, a lot of that came in the form of missing what the hell happened to the Piggly Wigglies. I'm gonna have to go back and check if there's something cool that happened that I can put in picture. For now, though, let's keep looking. Another castle on the way for redphosphoru. I said he's done with castles, but then he started mining the stone up here. Where are you going? You have one kill, not a villager. There's 2 free villagers for you. Okay, Phosphoru's shoving in to the north at the same time his villagers look like on the minimap they are moving in this direction. Northern, kind of. Gets a conversion on a villager. And he's going to kill even more if he can actually hit them. Again, I thought they were supposed to have a lot better accuracy than this within their little conical range. Their narrower conical range. Converted Mangonel. He has the gold for redemption, I guess. And there we go. For the second time, Hoang surrounds the organ guns. They do get the villagers 1 tile away. Whose micro will win out? Will it be the villagers? Will it be the organ guns? Okay, Woad Raiders. Second fastest infantry unit in the game. Not hard to see why. He's barely got any clothes on. This is as close to OnlyFans as you're ever going to get in Age of Empires. But Hoang's going up to Imperial, a minute away. A castle. When he hits Imperial, I mean, not a whole lot's going to change. His economy's not terrible, 63 to 42. So redphosphoru is really doubling down. And on top of having fewer villagers, there's a lot of movement from redphosphoru's villagers. There's not a lot of gathering that's happening. I'm looking at the res collected. He's down about 10,000. So again, a lot of moving. It doesn't necessarily show the villagers as idle. Only when they kind of stop do they show as idle. But if you were to move these villagers from here across the map to here, they would technically be idle. And they wouldn't actually show it because they're moving. So there's a few metrics in the game that aren't necessarily shown. Imperial Age Trebs. Trebs? Nope, it's a... Okay, we saw it recently. Imp into GG. And Hoang manages to hold on. Wow. Let this be a lesson to you if you ever play a game at whatever elo. I don't care if it's 400, 1400, or 2400. If you're pressed into, do what all of the pros do. Unless you're on a closed map like Fortress or Arena, and then your options for expansion, well, Fortress maybe not so much, but Arena, for example, your options of expansion are narrowed. If you're on an open map like this, there's nothing stopping you from just expanding outwards and outwards. Now, if you're facing a slow civilization in terms of movement speed like the Portuguese, not exactly the lightest on their feet, 0.85 and 0.7 for the monks, then you can afford to just expand. Now, if he was facing a faster, the Magyars, the Cumans, the Franks, any kind of cavalry civilization, I might suggest throwing in a few walls here and there. But the lesson is learned. If you're squeezed here, just keep going here. If you're squeezed here, go over here. So I guess at the end of the day, Hoang abandoning his primary goal did ultimately end up working for him. He does have 18 more villagers than his opponent, and redphosphoru kind of gathered his army here for a while, right? Is that one pondering organ gun still here? Yes, it is. And he had 4. Now 4 has become 8, maybe even 9. How lucky was he to be able to hit the wall right before Castle Age? That was pretty bonkers luck. I thought at that point, okay, it's over for Hoang. He's dumped a bunch of wood. He's dumped a bunch of stone into the indefensible position now, and he's going to get castle drop. But again, he lost the town center. Didn't really give a shit because he had 3 more already. And so Hoang just putting on the early game aggression. I wonder how much of his survival is thanks to the early game pressure he put on this quarry. Those 6 villagers that he killed early on. Because again, things did go according to plan, little p, but not according to plan, big P, for redphosphoru, who should have hit castle maybe roughly at the same time, but immediately organ gun after organ gun after organ gun after organ gun, as opposed to 20 seconds delay over here, 10-second delay over here, a bit of an idle castle here and there. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. He did do the damage. He got the TC. He lamed all 3 starting golds. 1, 2, 3. But Hoang with the pivot to the center, the Imperial Age, and the castles of his own. Basically nothing redphosphoru is going to be able to do now because his base is completely exposed. Trebs and Woad Raiders are going to, well, I hate to say it, eat TC and eat this entire civilization. And once that civilization falls, maybe he brought his villagers here in some kind of attempt to rebuild. But Phosphor, I think, for the moment, focusing on perhaps the wrong resources. Too much stone, too much gold. not enough food and wood. And so he ultimately ends up tapping out, and now Hoang's even thieving his secondary stone. Well, there you go. I'm surprised Phosphorus didn't touch this stone at all. Is it still at the 14? Yeah, still at the 1400 full amount, untouched. So kudos to Hoang for putting on such early game pressure. Kudos to Red Phosphorus for managing to keep going. And after losing six villagers is not a small amount when at the end of the day you're dealing with such small numbers and you're following such a tight, rigid game plan like Phosphorus does. So kudos to both players. Hoang for defending, Red Phosphorus for busting his way in. I thought he was going to go after this one, but I didn't realize there was a stonewall piece behind this. But ultimately, yeah, what a fun game. Like I said, usually it looks like chaos on the minimap, and this game is no different. Hoang is everywhere. Red Phosphorus is everywhere. Villagers are scattered to the four corners of the winds. And let's see what's going on here. 20 organ guns to basically nothing. So the name of the game for Hoang was Survive, and survive he did. PKPM right at the end, PKPM right at the beginning for Hoang. And now let's see, we saw the economy was pretty darn bad. Yeah, about 9,500 more resources for our Celt. Although gold for our Portuguese, there you go. Who would have thunk it? Twice as much gold for him. Although Hoang with 3 times the wood, this is how he was able to rebuild his civilization. So Hoang focusing nicely on the wood and the stone, getting up those castles, those town centers, those houses, farms, mills, everything he needed to just keep pivoting his civilization up and left, and managed to do that. 3 conversions to 0, 4 raisings to 0, and total kill count. Let's take a look. Like I said, usually not high, 36 to 19, 18 villager kills to 8. But man, oh man, was it a few tense minutes for our Celt, who by, I don't want to say by the skin of his teeth, because his civilization is much larger than Red Phosphorus, but by virtue of just pivoting from this DC to this DC to this DC to this DC, by managing to get the pigs over here. And I'm not too sure about the pigs over here. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the tape and see if it's something I can put in picture. But Hoang, despite a little bit of initial thievery of his pork chops, does manage to outlast Red Phosphorus, hit Imperial Age first, and with Imperial Age comes the absolute devastation that is the Celtic army with Trebs and Onagers and Woad Raiders, etc. Red Phosphorus realizes that, taps out, lives to fight another day. Hoang takes the W, but GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.